You may have noticed that more and more female prison officers are being caught having relationships with inmates. We believe that something like 29 female prison officers have been caught and convicted of forging inappropriate relationships, romantic relationships with prisoners in 3 years.
As it was only last month that we brought you a news report surrounding HMP Wales in Wellingborough, Northamptonshire, and the prison officer Tony Cole, who was imprisoned for having a relationship with an inmate, it seems that prison sentences have not broken the trend. Hi there, and thank you to everybody for joining me for yet another video back at the channel had just gone viral. If you're new here, we like to cover news and crime, give analysis, and also tell you information that sometimes the mainstream media won't always tell you. So with that being said, please like, share, comment and subscribe, and let's get straight into today's video. Last month we covered Tony Cole, the prison officer who was sentenced to 12 months for inappropriate behaviour and a relationship with an inmate, after she confessed to racy texts and also sitting on his lap and kissing him. But it seems this is an ever-growing trend rather than just isolated incidences, as we turn our attention in this news story to a woman named Kerry Pegg. Prison Governor Kerry Pegg, 42, began a relationship with a D-rug dealer who gave her a £12,000 Mercedes after she released him from jail, a court has heard. She became involved with an inmate named Anthony Saunderson while governor at HMP Kirkham in Lancashire, it is alleged. Miss Pegg is charged with 2 counts of misconduct in a public office, one by having a relationship with Saunders and the second by failing to disclose county court judgments about her debts. She is also charged with 1 count of possessing criminal property, the Mercedes from Saunderson. Miss Pegg denies all the charges. At Preston Crown Court, they heard that Miss Pegg was seen as a rising star in the prison service and climbed the ladder from graduate entrant to prison governor in just 6 years. But she lived beyond her means, Barbara Louise Webster said, as she opened a case for the prosecution. She spent all her income and more, incurring debts, and she had county court judgments made against her. As a consequence, she became vulnerable and open to exploitation. Miss Pegg became emotionally and personally involved with Saunderson, a serving prisoner, and accepted a Mercedes-Benz C-Class from him, the court also heard. This was paid for by him from his proceeds of crime and his activity, i.e. trading in D-rugs. Miss Webster, prosecuting, said that there were concerns about Miss Pegg being inappropriately close to prisoners from the start of her time at Kirkham. It was noted she spent a lot of her time in the office with Saunderson, and in October 2018 he put in a request to be released on temporary licence. Though such requests are routine, there are specific rules of how they should be dealt with, and Miss Pegg broke all of them. She did not have the authority to approve the release, but intervened and approved the application without notifying the official who should have been dealing with it, it is alleged. Days later she was moved to another jail, later becoming duty governor at HMP Lancaster Farms. Saunderson was released from prison in May 2019, and in early 2020 was using an encrypted mobile phone used by serious organised gangs and criminals to secretly communicate. But when the system was cracked by law enforcement and officers and agencies, it showed Saunderson was involved in serious D-rug trafficking. He had since he'd been released and has now been convicted for those offences. But other messages also show the ongoing nature of his relationship with Miss Pegg, the court heard. And on April 6, 2020, Saunderson was sent a message on EncroChat saying, "Car for her, your bird, 12 quid or work," and a photo of the black Mercedes. The 12 quid referred to the £12,000 payment for the Mercedes, and the work referred to D-rugs. The trial continues, but like I stated at the very beginning of this video, this is not the only isolated case. Here are some just to name a few.
18 female guards of Britain's cushiest jail have been fired for having illicit affairs with inmates. Figures discovered in Freedom of Information request found that relationships took place over the past 6 years at HMP Berwyn, Britain's biggest prison. The information follows 3 of the women ending up in the court following the illicit liaisons at the Wroxham jail in North Wales. Mark Fairhurst, chair of Prison Officers Association, blamed the relationship on the hiring of the wrong kind of women. Among the guards guilty of initiating relationships with the prison at the £250 million super prison, which houses Category C adult offenders, were Jenny Gavin, Aisha Gunn and Emily Watson. Most recently, Gavin was jailed for 8 months in December following her relationship with 25-year-old Alex Coxon. She had sent intimate photos of herself to the prisoner on Snapchat and kissed him during the relationship between April and July of 2020. Gavin pleaded guilty to misconduct in public at the Malcount prison after accepting £150 to bring in mobile phones. The relationship comes after just 1 year after a fellow officer, Aisha Gunn, had a fling with a dangerous inmate identified as Huram Razak. A search of Gunn's bedroom revealed snaps of the pair kissing and hugging, also with mobile phone pictures taken on her cell phone.
Until the rules are changed surrounding female prison officers guarding male inmates, it seems that this is not the last story that we have heard. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think it is about time that female prison officers are removed from the job of guarding males? I hope you enjoyed the video and the content. Smash the like button if you did. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next video.